Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact.
A game that unified two very different groups of people. Min-maxing Asian whales and mentally ill Western teenagers. What is Genshin Impact? Well, first let me congratulate you on being a useful member of society for not knowing what it is. Genshin is an open-world action RPG with gacha-style monetization. Now that all the sane people have stopped watching this video, I hope there are still some who know at least something about the game. For over 5 years, YouTubers have been creating thousands of videos about the game. From mainstream guides and plot summaries, to more niche lore analysis and even more eccentric examples. I think today's video lands in the last category. Throughout its lifetime, the game has consistently offered activities beyond the numbers go up simulator and the gay shipping between characters who never even met in the game. And photography is one of them. Most big budget games today almost always have a photo mode. Genshin is not an exception to that, but in addition to the regular photo mode, the game also has a separate special gadget for photography. Kamera, yes, spelling with a K. But the camera gadget is more than just a tool for players to take screenshots. It is also integrated in the game's lore and used quite frequently in the story. There are also 14 variations of it as a separate gadgets up to date, ranging from a simple picture-taking device to a camera that can see the past or show people's emotions. Lore-wise, Kamera is an invention from the Fontaine region of Teyvat. Fontaine has many scientists and inventors and is also considered one of the most technologically advanced regions. But as a player, we first received a camera from a guy in Liyue. He tells us the camera is an invention from Fontaine and that he brought several of them to promote photography in Liyue region. What a nice fella. After a short quest, he gives us this, what he calls a sample, and it also says that it's not a very expensive item. Yeah, typical film photography thing, when a camera could cost less than a film stock. And well, after that, we encountered a lot of different cameras and photographers all over the game world. Now, let's take a closer look at the camera itself. Despite the fact that it's called a daguerreotype in some localizations, which is what the first ever photography process was called, it looks nothing like it. The in-game camera looks similar to an old twin lens reflex camera, or TLR for short. The same twin lenses on the front and knobs on the side. But this is where the similarities with TLR ends. You see, functionally, the in-game camera is very different from its real-world counterpart. In our world, TLR cameras use a film stock, usually a 120 film roll. It has a viewfinder on the top, so you can look and focus through the upper lens. And the actual photo is made through the lower lens. Genshin's camera, as I understood, is working more like an instant print camera. Yeah, more like Polaroid or Instax. The viewfinder is on the lower part of the back, so you effectively compose and focus through the lower lens. Then what's the purpose of the top lens? Photos taken through it? It's strange design, but might theoretically be possible. But there is a catch. There is clearly a hole in the front under the bottom lens for a Polaroid style photo. How does it get from the top of the camera down? By passing through the viewfinder and the bottom lens? But then we learn that not all cameras have a slit at the bottom. So they don't all take instant photos. Well, it seems so. Judging by the information about Charlotte's camera, which we will discuss a bit later, the Teyvat world does indeed have a film stock. I'm curious what brand they are and what are they called. Something like Melusine Color 200? Modified cameras are a whole other story. As I already mentioned, some of them have properties impossible in our world, such as being able to see into the past, which cannot be explained except by the magic.
Magic.
Basically, what I'm saying is that the developers have finally managed to come up with an interesting camera design, but they don't know how it should work. Just look at Linear recent quest, where tournament participants are photographed through the viewfinder. I don't think there is any point in describing every single camera type, as there will likely only be more of them in the future. These are the only cameras that the main character interacts with, but that doesn't mean these are all the cameras in the game world. Charlotte is one of the many playable characters in the game. She's a journalist from Fontaine, and she is the only character in the roster who has camera control animations. From the information in her profile, we can find out that she calls her camera Monsieur Virit. It's a gift from her father, and he commissioned it a friend skilled with the machinery and modifying cameras to make it. It has various features like those from some spy movies, but that is not what interests us. What is interesting, unlike previous cameras, this is a single lens camera. It has a small viewfinder on the back, so it's hard to tell if it's an SLR or zone focusing. As I stated before, it's using a film canister. In addition, Charlotte's camera can use a thing called Special Analysis Zoom Lens. However, despite the name, this is not a proper zoom lens. It just changes Charlotte's skill, and now we can run around shooting things as if we were looking through a viewfinder. Moreover, Charlotte put a case on her camera that looked like pants with a bow, and a hat with a feather. There is also a cinema in Teyvat, hence there are movie cameras. As I understand, the inventor of the motion pictures is this guy, Xavier. We met him in various quests starting from the Inazuma region. There isn't a lot of information about the filming process, but at least there are two in-game motion picture camera models in the game. One is this huge looking TLR, and the other is looking more like a film projector than a camera. These cameras are not an interactive items in the game, but the protagonist used them in a cutscene as a videographer in one of the Fontaine limited time event about cinema festival. Speaking of limited time events, throughout the life of the game there have been many events related to photography. And what's interesting is that there are more of them lately. I don't know if it's the developers' laziness that prevents them from creating new events, but I would always prefer photography related activities to yet another tower defense or auto battles. It's also great that devs are constantly coming up with different gameplay ideas for future photo events. We shoot objects, people, landscapes, crime scenes, and even go on a kind of photo safari. The only big downside is that all of these events are temporary, which means that you just can't play past events if you started the game recently. Unfortunately, most live service games follow the cliché the best time to start playing was yesterday, and Genshin is no exception. To sum it all up, it's great when developers pay more attention to photography in the gameplay, instead of just making it another screenshot mode. As I said before, I think photography fits well into the Genshin lore, but it's also a rare example in the gaming industry. But I could be wrong, since I don't play a lot of live service games. If there are any other big budget game in which photography plays an interesting role, please tell me about them in the comments. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. More photography related content to come, so stay tuned. Have a nice day.